Okay, very briefly, because I know that I wasn't prepared quite yet to share the manner that we are now, but it doesn't speak to my profile as much as to the partners that I solicit within IT in the United States for their domain spaces for what they do. This is important, so not to create any conflict of interest under NDA with each one of them. Say, for instance, someone's a SQL specialist or someone's an Oracle specialist. That's the partnerships that I seek in regards to business development to find new customers for them. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so the M1 message is to take advantage of Sales Navigator. I don't know how many of you are on Sales Navigator, but it's important because of its functionality to be able to filter and segment within these target space domains that they're in and not to create any conflicts of interest. Okay, and thus
Mm-hmm.
they know that I'm exclusive to them in developing leads, engagements, appointments for them only. These are companies typically who are very technical, but yet do not have marketing staff in the front office, you may say, or who outsource that function for developing their own leads. So what I do in measure to why this became attractive in using this with Sales Navigator to leverage it is to take what we do in an invitation M1 connection and just simply state that we are in the same space that we're targeting, that we segment in the filters in Sales Navigator. Let me, as an example, my Oracle partner, I would say in my invitation that given the number of endorsements, the rates in the hundreds of endorsements that I have, there are many of those that's in that Oracle space for them. That's reason for enough for them to connect with me. Is that we have a commonality and we share many connections within that space, or can potentially share many connections, and so that success rate is beyond 30% as a result of the invitations we sent out to make connections. Okay, that's M1.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, M2 is to take the step further to introduce my partner to them and tell them specifically about my partner, sharing their profile URL as I shared, and Gladys has shared my URL with the audience today. And so doing, specifically introduce them as to how this company can help them in the manner of what challenges they may have, to know that they are the experts in this space, that they want to go ahead in a colleague way, in a peer way, to be able to access their solution. Okay? And
Mm-hmm.
thus, that's the basic action step that we're taking for them as to why they would want to engage with my partner, with us. Okay? And once that is put out, it's put out automated, but it's done so where we're eliciting a response from them. But once those invitations are made on M2 automated, M3 is personal. And how? Well, I do something a little differently because of the number that we put out up to what the actual limits within Sales Navigation can be for up to 300 to 500 messages per day. Is that
Mm-hmm.
we need somebody to score these, and they have someone that can score these, namely saying, I want to talk to this profile, but not this one. Not everyone's going to be titled in a name that's going to be a decision maker always. Okay, one that could be a
Mm-hmm.
purchaser, a buyer of the service necessarily. So with that in mind, they are the ones to determine who is the best to go and for me to personalize the message on M3 after they have scored these leads. Because as many, for instance, I mentioned 30%, we send out 100 invitations, get 30 accepts on connections. Of those 30 connections, my partner will score them, and from scoring them, basically narrow it down to about a dozen or so, of whereby that is a manageable way of me to connect with them on M3 to personalize. And that's where the success comes from in terms of the appointments realized at almost 50%. The 5 that we created was as a result of the 12 that I personalized on M3 when I sent out. So it's a little bit different and nuanced to what M3 is designed for, but it's also to say, you know what, I'm offering this to my partners on a contingent fee basis. This is not done up front with any cost. But if you want to do this, you're going to have to participate with me to make this successful as a true partner. So I
Oh,
know I went
wow.
through that very quickly, but that's the method that we're using and why I lay out this method. Those two partners that I added last month opted to be able to participate, said, yes, we're willing to do this. One was an Oracle Gold Solutions partner in California. The other one was a SaaS Solutions partner here in the Midwest. The other one that I did an exercise for you, Gladys, was in Chicago for the new
Hmm.
EU compliance without going too far. But that's an example of those who are willing to participate and work with me. I want to work with them. Those that says no, we don't want to do this, I go and choose another partner in that same space.
I see. Well, this is awesome, Tom. Actually, I am very surprised how you're able to really maximize, what you can do with the templates that are readily available. And
Absolutely.
wow, thank you so much for sharing this out. But I have one more question for you. So, what basically inspired you to join Mojo?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
What inspired you to join Mojo? Because it is through, these templates that eventually you were able to tweak and find yourself a more
It was
um,
by
good
and large,
approach.
Gladys, it was twofold. One was is that I'd always tried to find a way to leverage LinkedIn because of how many connections I have and how long I've been on it and the relationships I've built around it. What I do is what I sell is my endorsements. That's who I sell in the sense of what I'm recommending to you has already been endorsed by numerous others in terms of those that I'm recommending that you should be doing business with. But I never found a way that could go beyond the one by one by one and what was more or less taken away as a premium business member, business platform, recruiter
Mhm.
platform, if you will. And then once I was on Sales Navigator, it was more or less that Mojo found me instead of me finding them. I was like, you've been in existence for how long? Oh, 8 years. Really? uh, where have you guys been? Well, we've been here. Well, how come I did not know about you? Well, we found you before you found us. That's how it happened.
That's a sweet search we had there. But all right. And finally, Tom, of course, we want to make sure that this will also be a great jumpstart for everyone else in this same program you're in. So, what best advice can you give to everyone?
The best advice I could give to anyone is that remember your client is that you're producing for, and the fact that if it is third party like me, or if you're trying to produce for yourself in the matter of what it is that you're trying to offer, it is as it would be and suggested LinkedIn always has been relationship selling, relationship building in around what that can mean as far as trust. Because as I explained to the very quickly, Gladys, the Oracle
Mhm.
partner in California, they tried to tell me, oh, we have this solution, we have this product, you need to have this content. No, 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 no. I'm not selling your content. I'm not selling your product. I'm selling you as an individual, who you are. And so those that you want to align yourself with, you want them to be highly reputable and the integrity of who they are and who you do business with. That would be my best advice. What this does and what I was hoping it would do and what it is doing is shorten the sales cycle and to be able to push out content and messages in mass market as opposed to individually while maintaining relationship integrity.
Wow, that's a very sweet, lovely advice, Thomas. And I definitely will echo that. But thank you so much for gracing us with your success stories, Tom. Would love to hear more and more, of course, from the rest of you who were able to witness this. Thank you, Tom.
And you're
And
welcome. Thank you.
all right, give it up, guys, for Tom.